Hello and welcome back to Try Your Hand. Today we're going to be making some creepy specimen jars. Let's get started with the supplies. So you will have in your kit a mason jar, some bugs, either a lot of small ones or a very large one, a waterproof LED light, and some paint. So things that you'll have to provide yourself are a hot glue gun and the water that's going to go in the jar. So the first thing that we're going to do is get started with prepping our water. So the first thing that I did was to fill up my jar up to like the very top, right under where like the threads are of your jar. And then I put in my bugs just to figure out if I need to add more water or to dump out some water. If it starts to like go up into the tread area, that's when I know I should probably dump that water out. And then after that, I can take my bugs out. So this just shows how much water the bugs displace inside of your jar. One thing I will mention though is that do not put your hand in said jar after you have measured out your water, because your hand will displace water and you will spill everywhere. So just you can have some tongs or something to kind of bring out all the bugs afterwards. Or you could just dump the water into a different container and know that that's just your measured out water. Then what you'll want to do is just drop in like 1 drop of green paint. You really do not need a lot for this process. Then what I did was I just closed up my jar and then just shook my jar until the paint seemed really well mixed. If you feel as if the water that you have is too dark, you can always dump some water out and then add some more clear water and then mix that up as well. I should also mention that after sitting a while, the paint does kind of settle, so it does get a little bit clearer, the water, as time goes on. So now that the water is all mixed up, we can then set up our lid with the LED light. So what I'm doing here is I'm drying off the lid, and then I'm going to eyeball where I want my LED light to be on the lid. I took my hot glue gun and then I put in a large glob of hot glue in the middle of that, and then set my LED light right on that glob and then held it there until it hardened. So now that the light is all set, we can then make sure that our light works. So to do that, you just unscrew the top portion of the light, take out that little piece of paper, and then screw the light back on, and it should turn on. If it doesn't, you can either change out the batteries or there's something going on with the light itself. If you ever need to turn off your light, you would just then put in that piece of paper back inside the light, and it should turn off the light. So now it's time to put in your bugs inside of your jar. This is completely dependent on whether or not you have a very large bug or a lot of little smaller bugs. I only had small bugs left, so that's what I'm doing here. If you have one large bug, it's pretty simple. You just put in your large bug and that's it. You're done. But if you have a lot of smaller bugs, what you can do is to kind of set up your bugs in a way that you think looks cool. And then you can glue them together with the hot glue gun, and then insert your little clump then of bugs into your jar and kind of see where it looks good. And then you can dump your water out of your jar into a different container so that you can dump that water back inside of your jar later. And then hot glue your little clump of bugs inside of your jar, and then put the water back in. That way, anytime you were to pick up your jar or move it or whatever, the configuration of the bugs still looks good. Otherwise, if you just kind of dump all the bugs in and don't glue them down, they may not, it just looks like a bunch of bugs at the bottom of your jar. I hope you guys had fun with this project. Our next project will be a crocheted ribbed hat. If you want to share your creepy specimen jars with us, you can either tag us through social media, or you can email a picture to us. So if you're interested in the next project that we're going to do in November, you can sign up on our calendar. All the links for that should be down in the description below. All right, see you guys next time.